Typically, the same weather pattern is unlikely to occur in back-to-back years. However, that's exactly what farmers can expect in 2022, as it appears La Nina will be sticking around. As to what that means for their long-range weather forecast,
In the eastern Pacific Ocean off the coast of Peru and Ecuador, the water there is colder than normal. And that acts like a rock in the atmospheric weather patterns, and it shifts everything. And here in the southeast, what it does is it shifts the jet stream to the north. And so that leaves us usually warmer and drier for the winter.
and so far that forecast has played out, as many parts of the state have seen a severe lack of rain, and that could pose a major problem when growing season rolls around.
There's a couple places in November that were record-setting lows for the amount of precipitation. We had no severe weather at all in November, which is quite rare. So I think people are starting to be glad for whatever moisture we do have. I got about half an inch the last couple days. That was good because it had been really dry. And so we do need to have that rain in the winter, because that's the pool of water that we have available once we go into the next growing season.
As for the crops that will be affected the most in the immediate future, peach growers should be the most concerned.
One is the fruit farmers, because of the chill hour issue. If they don't get enough chill hours, then that kind of throws off their plants for next spring, and that can affect the amount of bloom that they get and how it happens. It also makes them a little bit more vulnerable to a late frost, because if the plants do get enough chill hours, they're going to be ready to go in the spring. If we have a warm spring, warm February, the plants are going to come out of dormancy pretty fast, and that really makes them more vulnerable to a late frost.
It's not the only industry a warm, dry winter could impact, as cattlemen rely on forage to supplement their herds' dietary needs.
The other group that's probably affected the most is people who are doing winter pastures in forage and small grains as well, because they need that moisture in the winter to kind of get their crops established. By now it's pretty late in the year, so if they're not established, then I think they're kind of out of luck. But they have to have that moisture so that the pastures are ready in the spring, so that livestock, which they're running out of hay usually by that point, livestock have something to graze on.
While a number of staple crops are still months away from being put into the ground, farmers should still keep a close eye on the weather throughout the year, as it will affect them come planting time.
Typically in Georgia, after we have a La Nina winter, especially if we switch back to neutral or to El Nino conditions, we are more likely to go into drought in the next growing season. There's a couple reasons for that. One is that we don't have as much recharge over the winter, and so there's not as much soil moisture that's built up our bank account of water, if you will. But also the warmer temperatures mean more evaporation over the winter, so that also takes moisture out of the soils.
Reporting from Oconee County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.